there's a channel here on YouTube called Stunted Growth, and he's covered all the players who didn't make it and why they didn't make it. And sometimes, yeah, just having the right coach, that's all you need. That's the difference. And sometimes some guys land, some really, really talented guys land with the wrong coach and everything just goes left.
Exactly.
Sometimes it's having the right teammates around you. And if you don't have those, things just go left. So many things have to fall into place in order to do something like what you guys did.
Yeah. I think one of the biggest things.
My current favorite sports YouTube channel is Stunted Growth. Hey all, a quick ask from this side of the camera. If you were compelled to click on this video, please definitely smash that like button. And especially if you're new, please consider subscribing and help me to grow my subscriber base for this channel. Let's get it, man. So first off, to my Michigan football fans, please be a little bit patient. We're a few months away from the season, and that content is going to ramp up pretty soon. But before I got to the University of Michigan and became a Michigan football fan, I was a basketball guy first, and I am working on a basketball-related book. And so those are my roots. So why would I make a video in tribute to another content creator's channel? Well, it's become one of my favorite channels, especially with my basketball roots. So the channel is called Stunted Growth. The content creator is a gentleman named JC, a basketball aficionado named JC. He creates really, really good content. I found Stunted Growth, I think it was in the spring of 2021. The YouTube algorithm said, hey, you like basketball, maybe you'll like this. And I have been hooked ever since. What's intriguing about Stunted Growth and what continues to draw me back in when my selection of videos gets populated with everything, what continues to draw me back into Stunted Growth is the fact that it is in large part a basketball history channel, not necessarily focusing on the teams in the NBA, but focusing on the individual players. And JC is very much a library of NBA players, their histories, and what happened to them. A lot of kids started off with the dream, and then at some point for all of us, life happened and life triaged us into careers and professions and trades and other things, while there were a distinct few who had the talent, the athletic ability, and the gifts to ascend to play major Division I college basketball, and then who were further blessed to go into the NBA. And if you think back to the documentary Hoop Dreams, a lot of that documentary was about the dream of making it to the NBA. Will Arthur and William make it? We just want to make it. I just want to make it. I just want to see him make it. I just want to see him live his dream and fulfill his dream. JC covered Arthur Agee and William Gates, by the way. That's in his catalog. And I wrote 2 essays about Arthur and William as well for my own book project that engineers a Western New York basketball story. But the point I'm trying to make is, at some point, all of us had a reconciliation in terms of our dreams, and then we watched the most talented in our society ascend and pursue their dreams. But did all of them make the NBA? And what happened when they got there? And did all of them become world champions?
Let's get it, man.
So what's intriguing and what's cool about the Stunted Growth channel and the content that JC creates is that he tracks the players who didn't make it. And there are quite a few players who didn't make it. Geez, just names that come to mind are recently he created videos on Fabricio Mello from Syracuse University. From here in the DMV, I'm thinking about Victor Page. I'm thinking about, there are just so many players who did not make it for any number of reasons, or who did not flourish once they made it to the NBA, and players who washed out once they got to the NBA. I'm also thinking right now about Shabazz Napier. Many players were really, really good at the college level, but for some reason just didn't pan out once they made it to the NBA. So what were some reasons, or what are some reasons why so many players who were top players in college or prodigies at the high school level, why did so many players not make it and ascend and become world champions and MVPs once they made it to the NBA? Again, JC has a whole channel on this, so I would, if you're a basketball fan, if you were following the NBA in its golden age, or even afterwards, I would encourage you to go ahead and subscribe. But these are just some brief reasons why players didn't make it or washed out early at that level. Well, probably the biggest one, and this is arguably the recurring reason that I see on his channel, is injuries. So many players' careers were cut short because of knee injuries that wouldn't heal, coming back too early, not having the technology at that time to fix those injuries, and so on, etc., etc. So injuries are a big reason. The wrong coach. Some players had the wrong coach. Some players were on the wrong teams with the wrong teammates. Some players were ahead of their time and were just drafted into the NBA in the wrong era. I'm thinking about a player like Christian Laettner from Western New York, who was arguably the very, very first, or who was arguably the first stretch 4 or stretch 5. He was 6'11". He could handle the ball. He could face the basket. He could post up. He could shoot from 3-point range. Some players just came into the league too early.
Let's get it, man.
And so I just wanted to make this quick tribute video to JC and Stunted Growth. That's one of my favorite channels. There's no way I could do his channel justice here. There's just so much content over there, and he specializes in what he does. But you know, over the years, you see all of these players go to these major Division I schools. Well, maybe not so much today, but over the years, I've seen so many players go to these major Division I schools. They were all, many of them were the Mr. Basketball in their state. They were in the McDonald's All-American games, and there was so much the expectations for some of them were so high, but only a few make it to the NBA, and only a few who make it there go on to have fruitful careers and go on to become world champions and Hall of Famers. And there are reasons why not all of them ascend to that level. Some of the reasons are within their control, and interestingly, some of them are not in their control. And I talk about that in my book project, The Engineers of Western New York Basketball Story. There's content here on this channel about that. The link is below in the description box in case you want to take a look. Please take a look. I'm going to wrap this up here. This is Big Discussions 76 Sports. My name is Dr. Anwar Youssef Dunbar. Please like, share, and subscribe if you want to donate something to the channel. That information is below in the description box. You can also leave a super thanks if something here resonated with you. And finally, please consider joining the Big Words LLC Newsletter. In addition to being a YouTube content creator, I'm also a writer with multiple blogs and a book project on the way. And with that, I'm going to wrap this up. As always, everyone stay safe out there. And as always, remember that your attitude determines your altitude. And always try to do your best. Take care, and I will talk to you the next time. Bye-bye. Hey all, I had a few more thoughts as this video was going through post-production. As you can see, I am using the voiceover format, which is the format that JC uses in his content. And I'm doing it, albeit without his signature soundtrack underneath. But there were a few more things that I wanted to capture in this fan video. One is that JC is not a LeBron guy. I am also not a LeBron guy, but for someone with the size of his platform, I think it chaps the hide of the LeBron James nation. Shout out to my buddy Raheem Gaines. I also wanted to point out that JC's channel, Stunted Growth, is not just about players not making it and players running into adversities in their careers, but he also acknowledges players who have turned the corner or who have overcome some kind of adversity to ascend to the top. He recently made a video on the Denver Nuggets' Jamal Murray, who battled his way back from a torn ACL a couple of years ago, and now he is back to where he was when the Nuggets made it to the Western Conference Finals in the bubble. And then finally, I just wanted to say that in his content, JC captures the essence of the game. He captures the culture of the game and what it means to learn basketball and what it means to play basketball, which is an altogether different thing than playing football, baseball, hockey, or soccer, or golf, or something else. There's something about learning the game of basketball. And in his commentary, he captures that. Whether it's the challenges the players face or whether or not it's every little nook and cranny regarding skill sets and skill development. So that's what I wanted to say, and I'm going to wrap this up now. Oh, the let's get it, man, in that voice, that scratchy, low voice, that let's get it, man. That was a tribute to him as well. He does that in his videos. I've never heard that before. It's unique, and I hope he doesn't mind me borrowing it for this fan video. So salute to JC at Stunted Growth.